Thank you so much. And for the ones who have joined us live on YouTube, on Zoom, and our social media channels, karibuni sana. This is our first episode on the AG Career Hub. And if you don't know who we are a community of Kenyan professionals in Germany, and we share career and business opportunities on the platform. We mentor young graduates and professionals, and we are also very keen to see which initiatives we can build between Germany and Kenya. And I'm very, very happy to, every time we come across something that might be of benefit to our community, we invite the people, and that is the situation right now. I'm very happy to have 3 professionals who are in the discipline of basketball. And so very happy to have Lucy, Zedi, and Martin. And they are on a very interesting scholarship with here in Germany. And they'll be talking to us about what the program is all about, how we should apply for the program, how we should prepare for the application, and the benefits, and actually also focus on what can we do to give back to the society. Yeah, we might have people within the network who are listening or watching who would like to support these young people who are going back to Kenya to transfer the skills that they learned here in Germany. So I will let you introduce yourselves, and then I'll show you a short clip. It's on the website, on the university website, and then now we can go into the discussion. So karibuni, thank you so much for taking your time. Let's start with the ladies first. Lucy, karibu sana.
Asante sana Njoki. As the viewers have heard, I'm Lucy Wanjiko Muhugu, a basketball coach back at home, a PE teacher, and a sports scientist. And my interest in basketball developed when I was very young. I don't know if people remember in the I think late 80s, KBC used to bring NBA games. Yeah. And that's how I learned about NBA. It used to fascinate me, but I didn't know how to play it. Even in my locality, there was not a basketball court. Then when I went to high school, that's when I met a basketball coach, a basketball team, and that's when I started my basketball game. And it transitioned to where I am today.
Wow. So through the TV, yeah, because most of us grew up with football. I think that's and netball, which we saw in schools, like, especially from the rural area. Let me talk from where I grew up, where we didn't see all these other disciplines. Yeah. Oh, wow. Nice, nice. You might have a young girl listening out there. And okay. Zedi.
Yeah, that is a good intro. I'm Zedeki Ongangotieno. I'm a counseling psychologist, also community health, and then development basketball coach, mainly focusing on developing on the game. My interest in basketball came late, very, very late. It only came in high school. I used to do rugby. I used to play in the park. I was this chubby young little boy. Then I got.
You're on mute. We can't hear you. Oh.
I got a shoulder dislocation, and then when I was doing my recovery, I went to sit in the basketball pitch. So that is how the interest for basketball started coming through. And then with time, I just found my school team. When I went back home, there's a basketball nearby. My sister was playing basketball. And before I know it, it's 20 years down the line, and I'm here, I'm a coach. I founded 3 programs: Far East Basketball Association in Kayole. I founded Vikapu Elite Basketball Academy in Kilimani. And now another new program called Hoops with the Roots that is meant to traverse the country and just give outreach programs to kids.
Wow. Wow, what an introduction. I just feel like I should also start training.
You're welcome.
I need these skills, especially after COVID. COVID taught us a lot of things. You're just like, yeah. So we can come to that later on. Martin, karibu sana. Let us also hear your background.
Thank you. Majina Martin Okwako. I am a teacher, a basketball coach, and I work with the national team U18. I'm a founder of a basketball academy in Kenya called Elite Sports Africa. And my journey was quite interesting because I come from a family of basketball players. So I grew up right from primary. So I've won championships from high school to university. I also had a chance to represent the country and also play some professional. So I got the interest when I was pretty young because of my brothers. So basically that's about me.
It's an inborn thing in the family. Wow. Yes. Yeah, you know, we come from different environments, and some of us we were lucky to have the resources to do this, to get a chance to try some of these extracurricular activities. But now we have a totally new generations. The parents are more able, they're more educated, they're also willing to add value to beyond education. Yeah, they're also focusing on skills, like tulikuwa tunaambiwa some become number one, but I think now it's totally a different focus on which skills do you possess, as much as also education is important. So yeah, let me share a short clip because we are also very delighted to promote this program as part of our agenda as EduCareer Hub. Anything that we find it's going to add value to our community, we are ready to support that. So I'll just share a short clip, and then we can now jump into the next discussion. I hope I will find it. Yeah. Okay. So I hope I just need to share my sound as well. Then. Okay, so the sound is there. Just a short clip. Can you hear?
Yes.
Wow. Be part of it. I personally, I've met so many professionals, I've interacted with so many people, and I think sport is something that really unites us. It doesn't separate. We've seen or watching football or different games, and we feel so we come together because sports unites us. I think it's one of the sports that has really brought this unity among humanity, whereas in other areas you find they try to separate. So let's not focus so much on that. So many people are asking, so how did you know about the program? And especially in the east of Germany, where most people don't know about these opportunities. So maybe you can briefly share to us about how you came to know about the program, and then we can go to the application process. Start with the ladies again.
Thank you for that. I came across two people who have done the program, but they two of them came through for volleyball. So they told me about the program, the way it's done. Yearly, they rotate the type of sports in English. They did it in different languages. like next winter, basketball will be in Spanish. So I was waiting for my moment when basketball will be in English. So from 2012 and then 2020, I used to follow the German embassy in Nairobi Facebook page. So I saw them advertise it in 2020 and applied. So when I applied, luckily I was selected.
Wow. Wow. Information is power. Yes, follow German Embassy Facebook page. I'm also a keen follower of their page. Zeddy.
Yeah, as Lucy said, I think I also applied, it was way before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it was just through Facebook. I saw the opportunity and I was like, okay, I'm eager to do this program. So one day I was sitting with my boss and my boss told me there's nothing to lose because I used to work at Riara University as the head of basketball before I quit. And he told me, go for it. Then I did my application and everything. And yeah, I was accepted. Then once I was accepted, then a week or two later, I got another email and I was told like, okay, this has to stop because of the COVID situation and everything. If everything comes back to normal, we'll get back to you. And then I think early last year, I started getting emails again from them. Then voila, the next thing I was on a flight to Germany to study sports.
Wow. Nice. And finally, Martin.
For me, I have a former teammate who came here in 2015. So I've had the information for quite some time. So I was trying to share with a couple of friends. So for me, I think this is one of the most transparent processes that I've ever come across.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't know who you are, race, color, your uncle. You just apply, no influence from the federation.
Mm.
So if you qualify, then they give you a shot.
Wow.
So as simple as that. And that's how I came to know about it through a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wow, fantastic. Now that takes us to the next question. So what are the requirements? Can I apply? I mean, like, do I need to have 20 years of experience, 5 years experience? What do they check?
For the application process, one, you must be a graduate of any discipline because you're coming to a higher institution of learning.
Mm-hmm.
So the basic fundamental is a degree requirement.
Mm-hmm.
Then second requirement, you must be below 40 years of age. So because you work out as a player, there's a lot of exercises, you practice practically every day, So there are certain parameters that an older person cannot sustain. So graduate below 40 years, then you must have certification because we have different disciplines. We have football, basketball, table tennis, volleyball, swimming, and they come in different times and different languages. So you must have certifications in those areas of discipline. Like for us, basketball, you must be a professional, probably a FIBA recognized certificate, because it separates you from the rest. Then if you have any additional, let's say maybe NBA, because the guys who work probably with the NBA or other organization in sports, it's a plus. Then it's advantageous if you're a teacher, a PE teacher, because it cuts across from the coaches to PE teachers. Because me, I didn't come as a PE teacher, but Lucy came as a PE teacher. Mm-hmm. So both a coach and a PE teacher can benefit from this. Mm-hmm. So 1, graduate, 2, below 40 years, 3, you must have coaching certifications. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice. Then 3, then maybe last one, because it's in Africa, you need Jesus for the process. So yeah.
I love that.
So yes, we do a mwisho wa kuchagua who will come, will not, because I think we have over 55 countries across the world.
Oh wow.
For the same sport.
Wow.
So it's very competitive. very competitive.
It's very competitive. So you are the gurus in this case. Hey, hongera sana from the Kenyan community in Germany. And how do you apply now once you've seen all that? Do you go to the website direct? I think you have to apply through the German embassy. Maybe you can briefly mention that, and then we.
Yeah. So you send an email to there's a link that is normally sent. So like Lucy mentioned, it's good to follow these pages, like the ITK page on Facebook or Twitter, the German embassy. They normally have links with a certain information. So you click and there's a portal that you're supposed to send your documents. So once they look at your documents, they give you leverage for you to visit the embassy without an appointment, for them to actually have a look at your documents, and probably you certify them and you go for an interview. So it's a very seamless process, not very tedious. So basically the information is always rolled up. So it's important for guys to just practically have a
read.
Yes, just read.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
But it's very smooth. Yes.
Thank you. We'll pass on the message to the program coordinators. Zed, you had said you're going to tell us about the structure, like how long does it take, what is the day-to-day activity, and how should people prepare themselves apart from boarding the flight and coming here?
Yeah, it's a good experience. First and foremost, people need to know how to do Google Maps, because yeah, that is the first thing that you need to understand, because once you land at the airport, it's you yourself and your God, as Martin has said. So you need to navigate yourself. Like, for example, me, I landed in Frankfurt. I had to get into a train, a straight train, an IC train, then get myself to Leipzig. Then after Leipzig, I need to get myself to Moritzhof. You've never known of Moritzhof. You've never known of this thing. So it's good that once you get your approval, you start learning a bit of how to understand maps. What is north? What is east? What is west? That gives you a better understanding in terms of navigation. So on a day-to-day, once you're admitted, you're given a hostel. Everybody, we are 15 members in the basketball cohort. Everyone has their own hostel, own room. So you guys wake up early in the morning, because there are different timetables for different groups. So basically you have 4 subjects. So you have strength training, you have basketball, you have ABTW, and then you have sports medicine. So all those subjects, you do them. Basketball is the main subject, so you do most of it during the week. Then, you have 5, and you have what is called didactics. Didactics is all about well-being and psychology and stuff. That one you do it once a week. Then you have sports medicine, you do it twice a week. Then you have the ABTW, you also do it twice a week. So at times you wake up at 5 a.m. because you have to be in class by 7. Maybe you leave maybe 30 minutes, an hour away from school. So you have to get yourself into a tram. Then you have to cross over town because the classes are on the other side. So then you're in school. Every class is like 2 hours maximum, at times 2.5 hours. There is an extension, there is communication. Then in between classes, there is what is called shadow coaching, whereby you're placed in different academies, whereby you have to go learn how to coach, how to do their things. Then you have to give a report at the end of the day. Then also you guys have to visit games. So you have to travel to Berlin, you have maybe to travel to Brenner to watch games, then you have to give reports. Then, so in a week, there are a lot of things that happen. Then again, maybe if there are kids games, you guys have to go ref the games, because they want to know or see you in that environment whereby you understand, you know, and if you don't know, they teach you, they guide you. Like for an example, there's a video that we've been having a discussion online, because there's this coach who is very, very passionate and is shouting at a kid. He's like, hey, pass ball, I'm a ball. And I'm telling guys, the coach is creating blockage. to this kid, because he's supposed to be guiding this kid so that this kid has options, but the coach is not doing that. So such things we are taught, because we are normally told ati kangumu sijui nini, ati lazima tough love, but you get here and you're shown that, okay, the way you have been doing it is not that way. You need to guide this kid, you need to lead him, you need to give him options, you see, or you have to listen to him or her. Yeah, you have to open his or her mind so that he's aware that this is happening, this is the situation. So on a day-to-day, that is what we go through. Then by around 4 p.m. mostly, you're back in the room. You have homework to do. Homework is a must. You do your homework, and then you submit them. You do presentations. Then you're awarded marks. You're graded. You eat a lot of chocolate because chocolate is cheap in Germany.
Yes.
Yeah, but basically that is our week or a day-to-day breakdown.
Wow. I think it's quite an eye-opener. And maybe before we go to the benefits of the program, maybe we can ask Lucy or anyone else among the two of you, like what are some of the things that really shocked you when you came, and how should people who are planning to come here also prepare themselves mentally, apart from, of course, there are many things that shocked all of us.
Lucy will take that question.
Just to educate.
Lucy,
I mean, we are here to
Lucy
educate each other.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Lucy Domjeru.
I'll gladly do that. Just to add something on what Zedi said, the course is usually a 5-month course. And like our course started on 29th of August and it will end on 31st of January. It's usually a 5-month course. Like our course was winter, there's usually summer courses and winter courses. Yeah. On my culture shocks.
Yeah.
The first one was the efficient transport system, the public transport system, the trains and the tram. As Zedi said, the first day I also landed at Frankfurt. I was alone. From there, it's you either read the Google map. It's not like Kenya, you ask around. Hii train inaenda wapi? Unaambia ukishuka hii kona, ukiona uwanja fulani.
Piga nayo, lala nayo.
Enda mpaka pale madhu chukua ile ma3.
Here there's no use Google Map to know where the next train is. So I got to Frankfurt. I went to the Frankfurt main train station. Then I had to book an IC train, as they said. But most of the things are in German. And then you are told your train, it's written, your train is on track 3. You don't know what a track is. In fact, it's written glass.
Glass.
I only know of glass. In fact, I got late for that train because I was looking for the track. I missed it. So I had to wait for the next train. Then luckily I paid for an ice ticket. So I just waited for the next train and went to Leipzig. The next shock was dustbin. How we get rid of, I'm used to just carrying my dustbin, throwing it. Yeah, there's place for paper. I don't know, plastic.
They have about like 5 bins. Yes, for everything. Yes.
So it was really hard for me to do that. And then the other thing is shopping. You go to the supermarket, you're looking for salt, but you can't see salt.
You buy sugar instead.
Yeah, you can even buy sugar.
Yeah.
Martin bought icing sugar. Yeah, instead of buying tea sugar, because it's written sugar.
For me, and I think I've shared this with most people. My neighbor did not greet me for 1 month. I thought I've either wronged him or I've done something, and only to realize later on that probably it's a culture that people are reserved.
Yeah.
But in Sumboasan, I'm like, hey, who fala? You know? As in, he's not greeting me, and he's just passing and going, and
like you don't exist.
Yeah, so we come from a culture where
yeah.
But my next door neighbor, man, Sudan is Sudan Ndimu. Yeah, and you're like, man, what's happening? So for me, that aspect really affected me for the first month.
Mm-hmm.
Then only to realize from other people that is the way of culture, and that's how these guys are.
Mm-hmm.
So salamu ni ya Yesu na ni ya Afrika. For you, just do you and go. And I don't greet people. I greet people once a month as well, and life is good.
I hope you retain this when you go back to Kenya.
I'll be strangled. I'll be killed.
Kenya, you can't, because you arrive at the airport, they're already meeting you with the security and stuff.
I know. Yeah.
And then the other thing is the silence. You see, we're not used to, in Africa, we're not used to silence, but you come here, like, for example, today is Sunday.
There's no noise.
There's no noise. It looks like a ghost town because everybody's just doing their own thing and stuff. Yeah. Shops are closed. You see.
Yeah.
So that's another unique thing about this place. And then also by 10 p.m. it's total silence. Yeah, guys are already in their houses. Guys, you see. So we're used to. By the when we started the course, you are the only people in campus. So you are just only like us guys have come for ITK. And we used to be loud and stuff. Then when the other students came in, they kept on saying, these guys are loud. Because I meet my brother from Nigeria, I'm like, hey, Oga, what's up? I meet my brother from Rwanda, hey, Nyaje. So you are so loud in campus, yeah? And this is something they're not used to, and they go like, why should I stay? These guys, they're so loud.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice exchange. Mm-hmm.
Yes, the other thing, the other culture shock or a good thing was keeping time. Mm-hmm. If a German tells you to be there at 9, please
it's 9.
Be there, in fact, 5 minutes before 9.
Yeah.
It's a good thing anyway. It's like it made us be disciplined on time discipline.
Because you cannot even like lie that the train was late or something. Because we used to have lectures. We used to have lectures at 7. By 6:45, the lecturer is already in class, and you cannot even come and say there's something with the train and stuff. Sorry,
yeah.
Lucy, sorry.
Yeah. No problem.
And then the last thing is the weather. We are lucky we came here during the summer. Then our first practical lessons were in the open field. So we used to be taking the open field, and then we'll stand in the field. It is, I think, around 15 degrees there. We used to tell our lecturer we are freezing. Then our lecturer will just laugh and say, you have not
you have not seen it.
Yeah. What? Hey, October kuisha.
The reality hit.
Yeah, winter hit us very hard. So it was so cold. Then the changes, darkness starts around, is it 4? Even like right now, if you look out, it's already dark. In the morning, 7 is still dark. So those changes really somehow affected us. Yeah.
Wow.
Then also the time, moving time behind by 1 hour.
and 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, by end of March, they will now move it 2 hours. Is it like 2 hours? Will be 2? No, it'll be 1 hour now behind. Very confusing. Yeah. I can add one more thing that also shocked me when I came is the efficiency. Like when they go to the office, they do their 8-hour job. They are not always there on phone, or they are not like coming. They're supposed to start at 8. They come at 9. They are so efficient in the way they do their things. And it's just this self-discipline. It's something that is in them, and they learn this from a very young age. It's something that it's in them. Whereas some of us, we came to learn this when we are grown-ups.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We received mail for the first time in our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the benefits, because of course I think that is normally the essence of all this. Like what have you benefited from the program, and what is your takeaway when you go back home?
Lucy can start.
The program has a lot of benefits. For me, it was an eye-opener. Of course, I used to coach basketball for a long time, but I knew how to coach the physical part. But with these programs, it usually teaches you how to coach, the science behind coaching. And because for me, all the programs the coaching programs I went to, we are just being taught how to coach. Mtu aende hivi, afanye hivi, But with this program is the type of exercise you give the athlete, and why do you give this athlete this type of exercise, and how can you do to improve this athlete. For me, I didn't know that science. I just knew basic training. So it has I've really benefited from that, and I know I'll improve more athletes when I go home.
The scientific approach.
Exactly. Then the other thing is I want to I've networked with a lot of different coaches, because in our class we are from different countries, not just from Kenya. So I've really networked with them, and I believe in future we'll share more information and benefit from each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And you've also learned a new culture.
Yeah. True. Me on my end, I think I'll just pick it up from where Lucy has. We're used to training kids kienyeji. Yeah, you see, I make the transition from playing basketball because I was a good player. Then you come in, now you're a what? You're a coach. So the way you are trained is the way you train. And you're coming to realize that, okay, these are two different things. Yeah. The teaching aspect of it, the way we do it, it's different. You see, for example, most of the things that we do, it's all about endurance. Endurance. When you make kids just run, we're just building the endurance. Yeah. But in terms of giving them what they need in terms of endurance, skill, load, intensity, we didn't have all that knowledge. We didn't know what ratio goes to what needs to happen to what, and how do you plan this, and how do you journey with a player from point A to point B, and you transform them. You see, because I'll tell you for a fact, if we bring a bunch of kids here right now who are like 14-year-olds from Kenya, they'll come and beat some of the academic kids that you have seen here, hands down. But in 2 years, the same teams go back to their different environments and they meet when they're 16. These guys will beat us, hands down, because the model of training, as we are ready-made here and now, yeah, specialization. A kid is 10 years, specialization. We want to see this kid doing wonders.
Wow.
But to them, it's all about that process, how you introduce it, how you teach it, so that the uptake is not from you, but from the kid.
According to the rate of the child development.
Yes. And they tell you in 2 years or in 6 months, these kids will be very different. I'm from watching an under 10 game right now. And I'll tell you, when you got here, we saw the kids enrolled in that program. What the kids are doing right now, it's different. Back in my home country, I've never seen an under 10 game. The scores are like 88, 64. Even a Premier League game in my country, in Kenya, they don't even get to that high score. But you see the process. See, they do everything right. The proportions are right. They're using the right size of ball. The rim is down. Yeah, the technique is well taught. You see, there is a lot of motivation from the kid and success at that age in terms of attempting, in terms of recovery. Yeah. So that aspect of teaching and training, that is my biggest uptake from this. And that is what, as I go back home, it's something that I'm gonna see how best can we like fusion it into what we are doing, then transform coaches. And then the other thing, is building coaches' capacity.
Mhm.
We don't teach coaches.
Mhm.
We don't train coaches.
The trainer model.
Yes, we don't. So we have so many coaches who claim to be good coaches, but they lack the basic training.
Aha.
You see?
Wow. Passing a
And-
skill. Yeah.
And I'm so happy that Kenya was the only country to have 4 representatives. And because you had 4 representatives, it means when you go back home, we can cover a bigger scope. Yeah, we can reach out to more people. We can teach more people with this knowledge, because that is something that we don't do. We bring programs, but they're only focused on athletes, but we don't bring programs that are focused on coaches.
Wow.
So that is the second thing that I've taken up from the program, how to teach and how to empower myself as a coach and other coaches. Because most of their things that it is based on research, it is based on fact.
Mm.
You see, it is not, they don't just come and tell you this is like this because of this. No, they tell you, I've read this, I've read this, I've read this. If you do this comparison, it gives you this. So I'm training these kids in this skill because studies show that if you do 1, 2, 3, these are the results you're gonna get. But us will do it. Si nani alikuwa anacheza hivyo? Si nani alikuwa anacheza hivyo? Hii stingo ni noma. There's no basis. See, there's no foundation. You see? Yes. So you cannot even go back and correct yourself. This is this. So those are my 3 take-homes.
Wow. Deep points. Wow. Martin, before we set up an R&D back home.
For me, one of the main benefits that I'm taking home is the scientific approach. Yeah, so how things are done here and how we do things back in Africa, and we believe we are some of the best was a real eye opener, you know. So I think going back, we even got an opportunity to be trainers for mini basketball in our country. So we'll go back and train coaches because of the expertise that we got in here. Then we had a chance to tour a couple of research centers for sports.
Wow.
Yeah, it looked like a movie scene, you know.
Not a real thing, yes.
The machines we were seeing, it was amazing, you know.
Yeah.
And for us, the fact that we focus more on energy and some endurance. So I think we know how we now know how to model our training for our kids, active youth. Then also on the networking beat, we've met so many people from different countries, different organizations. So I think the power within us is even, the scope is bigger, you know. And also Zed talked about research, you know. One mistake we coaches back home don't do, because we believe we are the younger generation that is coming. But our coaches need to like ongeze maarifa kidogo. Let me put it in a polite way. Most of our coaches don't go for probably higher learning or something. Because other countries invest in their coaches. During the summertime, coaches are going to different countries, you know. Sadly, in Kenya, we're preparing now for World Championships, we're preparing for Olympic qualifiers, you know, but we cannot be having the same results because the coach is the same. We've seen other countries, even Rwanda, our neighbors, Uganda, you know, they're going for expertise out. Coaches are going out. You know, also us going out has really helped. So for me, I think I'll just urge our coaches to go. These platforms are there. Even to have very high profile programs. You can just go for a month and, you know, shadow coach. So I think we need to empower ourselves as coaches more.
Wow.
Yes.
And set up the R&D back home.
Yes.
You know, that's something that struck me when I came here. I realized that they have everything. There's a scientific background towards whatever they're working on. And that's why I think they're so advanced. And when let me throw this challenge to people who are watching us, who are doing very well, or they have a lot of wealth. We never think of putting this money for research and development in any form. We think of buying property, acquiring more and more wealth, getting richer and richer, sending our children abroad. But we never really think about setting up something like this, where like the young generations can also grow up with that mindset that we can also put some of our budget for R&D.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Nice. Your closing remark. We have Edith, founder of GANF, a wonderful initiative that also said they are ready to support you in any way. They have been training young girls in Kisumu. And we might have also other people who are willing to support in one way or the other. Of course, you have the German stamp. So I'm sure when you go back home, Pangwingwi. But you might have a statement or two, like, how should we support you? It doesn't have to be always monetary, but there are many ways on how we should also maybe team up as Kenyans in Germany or Kenyans in the diaspora and see how do we support such initiatives back home? How do we put some little money aside and say this is for sport? Tuanze na Lucy.
The lady.
Sorry, Lucy, I'm really on your case. And then we
okay.
can have an open discussion for questions.
No problem. As my other colleagues have said, this coaches development in Kenya is below par. There's no development. It's usually a 2 days workshop. You just go, someone talks. Just a lot of talking theory, and he's using the notes he learned in 1958, which is wrong. There's no research, there's nothing. So we have many coaches back in Kenya. My plan is to go and empower, if not all, at least some coaches. And I believe with the help of Martin and Zed, we can do that. We can come up with a program where we empower these local coaches.
Capacity building, yes.
Exactly. They tasked for this knowledge. For us, we didn't have this knowledge where we are privileged to have it. So why not share with the others so that we up our basketball game and also other games. And in our class, we were not only taught about basketball. There are several things about sports. We are taught the sports medicine, didactics, and the science of training. So also that we can share with other sports about the knowledge we have learned. Then I'm thinking of coming also with community-based programs in basketball, because that's my field. I may start with other sports. Now I want to start with basketball. Maybe come up with basketball academies. I'll start with one and see and develop the kids around my locality.
Happy to support where we can. I'll pass on the message to the community, and actually we'll give also Eddie the chance to comment on that, because she said capacity building is on O.
Yeah. For myself, I'll say that I already have programs that are running back home. First, for the coaches, I have what is called a coaches chat, whereby it's a similar program. Currently, it's online, whereby I get coaches from all over the country, all over Africa, and I invite top coaches, and we just have a discussion for like 2-3 hours. So moving into 2023, the dream is to make sure that we have physical classes, whereby in a week, 2 or 3 times we meet, or in a month, we get just a whole day or 2 day. And that now I'm trying to work on the finances and the planning, and in terms of just getting partners for that bit, so that we are able to train coaches, train ourselves, and better ourselves. For the kids, I have also what I'm launching now. I'm trying to make sure that it goes big, because I've already mapped out 8 camps across Kenya, then 1 big camp in August, whereby I'm inviting some coaches from the NBA, some were Kenyans and people don't know about them, and they're willing to come back home as well and just give back for like 2-3 days, because it's an elite camp. So those are the things that I want to go back and put my energy and focus on, because now I'm self-employed. I stopped being employed. So those are the 2 things I want to focus my energy on. Make sure that we empower coaches, and then Hoops with Roots gets what it needs by just traversing the country, teaching the game of basketball the correct way, and also empowering coaches. In a few years, we should be having a national outlet program for Kenya that is able even to bring kids here to play basketball, is able to ship kids. Currently, we're working with a lot of kids, but most of them are getting opportunities because they're South Sudanese. Somebody should not tell me there is no Kenyan there with tall who is like 6'7". They are. So that is why we are starting a program that it will go mashinani to tap this talent, to bring them to an elite camp. Then once it brings them to an elite camp, then we start exposing this talent. So my focus for 2023, if I can get any support, is the two programs, the coaches chat. Just make sure it's a school now, whereby coaches twice a month, we sit down, we discuss, have focus group discussion, and then Hoops with the Roots, the tour.
Oh, fantastic. Nice approach, nice approach. Martin, alafu tuvuke mkutano.
For me, one is training the trainer. It is one concept that you want to adopt immediately we step in Kenya, because we're the ones who are in charge of the youth in the country. So we want anyone who is working with the kids to have a certain qualification. So it's very important for us to make sure our coaches, have a certain expertise. Then I'll reach out to anyone on this platform out there through networking. If there are any events here in Germany, Europe, or France regarding basketball, we are hands-free. We are ready to just probably go and support and offer expertise, whether it's for a week or a month or something, because we also want to continue to grow and develop, Then talk of networking, I'm a beneficiary of a basketball court that was unveiled today in Nairobi by the president of the Toronto Raptors, Masai Ujiri. So I believe through such partnership, and it was very expensive, almost $150,000. It was unveiled today in Umoja, state of the art, where kids will just play and probably dream like the kid who is abroad, So I believe with more partnerships and networking, we can do more. So for me, my focus is work on the young coaches and train the young coaches, basically. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Before we close the meeting, Edith, you want to say a word or two before we go into an Q&A if anyone has a question in the group?
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, I activated my video just shortly before, but because I'm having a small kid here that is just coming from the bath, so excuse me, I will keep my video off.
No problem.
But I'm quite grateful to have such a platform, because sport is most of the time undermined, yet it's a very good avenue for exposure and bringing out all these strong personalities. And when you join your hands together, you develop a lot of team conscience that also helps you both in school. It helps in the society. It helps you to work when you're building up your career. And for us, actually, it's also been a door opener to so many opportunities. Some have gotten scholarships from just this basketball. I think I posted it in the group that we are having a basketball team. When I met this team, actually, they were just having the men's basketball group training in Kisumu, and they had just like three girls that had these the guts and the conscience to train with the men, and were actually so much passive, because basketball is a very rough game, and therefore to get girls engaged with the boys training together, it's a hardcore. But they showed this positive performance that encouraged us. And from that, they've been able to come up with a girls team that now is a full team altogether. And beyond that, they're now bringing up the junior team, and they have a lot of camps in a year. So it's been, though most of the time they get these kids during the holidays, but it's been a place where you feel like you have an extra family. I don't know the power in sports, but whenever you engage in any team, it feels like you have an extra family somewhere. And taking our African context, for instance, not only the Kenyan part, most of the time these extracurricular activities are not given the necessary attention. And most of the kids have very less opportunities of exposing their talents of mingling out with others, exchanging the ideas, and getting their mindsets, above all, getting their mindsets engaged, so that you don't come to all these fishy stuff. So I see there's a lot of opportunities that sports can do, that if we really measure on capacity building, just like I think it was David that said, most of the time you train as per what your trainer delivers. The question is, what capacity does the trainer have, the coach? If your coach was also trained by someone that was just, on voluntary basis and doing it willingly, it simply means you hardly can go beyond your coach. So when we invest in the coaches, create them those avenues, also give them further trainings and engage them in such camps that, help them also further develop their skills, the full team benefits from this. So I'm so glad that, Pierre, Caro, you've managed to create a platform for this. In as much as we think of professions and all these other skills, sports is also an area that shouldn't be undermined. And it's not just because it's an extracurricular, and sometimes you consider it as a place of spending your free time, your leisure time. It's also a profession on its own. The question is just how much investment do we put in it? And with the right investment, it's able to create a lot of job opportunities to our people, and not only within the country or within the continent, also abroad. Because when you talk of all these fast runners, the athletics, it's our pride to always see our people being mentioned and bearing our flag. So if we can be outstanding in most of these sports, and basketball is really one of the very best areas in which we can be outstanding beyond the continent, I think all of us will be benefiting from it, because it's again contributing to a positive narrative of our continent. So I'm glad, and I'll be willing to partner with you in any way possible. I'll be willing to partner with you. This year we had purpose to introduce our Gantt Cup, our Gantt Basketball Cup. And I think there's so many areas in which we can partner together. Carol will network us. She's always very good in it.
I will introduce you to the troop. Yes.
You'll introduce us and see how we can partner in these for mutual goals. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Edith has done tremendous projects back home supported by the German government. So feel free to reach out. You just never know what might come out of this engagement. She's a lawyer by profession. Allow me to proudly introduce you, and she has been a major value also for the Kenyan community in Germany. So from my side, asanteni sana, and thank you so much for the wonderful interview, the nice talk with a lot of humor. I believe everyone has learned something, and I'll definitely be in touch, and hopefully that whatever you manage to acquire here, you will pass it on, and you'll also be able to initiate sustainable projects back home. So from my side, asanteni sana.
Shukran, shukran, shukran.